So how's the Crested Butte real estate market? Hey, it's Chris Kopf and welcome to the updated Crested Butte real estate market report. If you haven't gotten the full version of the August report through August 31st, I encourage you to do that. 2 pages I think they're very interesting are the overall results and the month results for August. But in general, let's give you a few highlights of what's happening in the Crested Butte real estate market. Just to recap, as you remember, spring break of 2020, which is a peak time for our real estate market and certainly our economy. All the visitors from Texas and Oklahoma showed up for spring break, and then the ski area shut down. So we went through this kind of a crazy time from mid-March until really the end of May, where we were shut down and no visitors were permitted, and we really didn't have any activity. But once beginning of June happened, we really saw a spike in people. The COVID craziness for 2020 started, and a lot of people showed up early, and a lot of interest in real estate. And this is consistent across the country. In the April-May timeframe, I started talking to some of my counterparts in like coastal Florida market areas, and they were saying, things were really starting to heat up, and then they, starting to get crazy. And I was hoping that was a leading economic indicator for Crested Butte as well. And what we've seen is a lot of people have realized, based on the work remotely and the COVID situation, that this might be hanging around a while, and or the corporate culture for being in the office versus just being productive and working remotely is shifting. And so I think we see people that were previously not considering a second home in a resort market like Crested Butte are now saying, hey, I can justify that because I'm allowed to be up there more. It's not just vacation time. Most affluent and successful second homeowners would probably have 2, 3, generally 3 to 5 weeks of vacation time, but because they're able to work remotely, they could utilize their second home instead of being in their permanent residence, and get the opportunity to have their family here, and then kind of commute from here, so to speak, if they needed to be back. So we're seeing a lot of that. There's been some people that have wanted to relocate and have their kids in school here. There's been a spike in the enrollment at the Crested Butte Community School. So those 2 things are driving a lot of demand. A lot of buyer clients that I'm working with are kind of saying, we're ready. We've been thinking for a long time, and this COVID kind of pushed them over the edge. So buyer demand is up significantly, and we've seen inventory levels shrinking, and price points being fairly tight with regard to ask to sell. And it's really shifting to a seller's market for properties that are quality properties. What we've not seen as much is homes that require big projects or updating. If it's a home that's ready to move in and there's maybe a few minor things that need to be done, then that's a different story than a major overhaul. The reason being just the risk for the buyers, the time it's going to take to get that work done. There's a lot of home construction happening right now. A lot of the general contractors, builders, and subcontractors are very, very busy. So trying to get their attention and get them to work on your project can be hard and a little bit more expensive, since their plate is full. Those bids that are going out usually at the higher levels of their rates. So for that reason, a lot of buyers are really scouring the market for, based on their price point and based on the inventory, what is out there and what would be a good fit that they could start utilizing right now as a second home, or potentially a temporary permanent residence, or some people are making the move full-time. For sure, if you're in an urban area and there's a lot of different things going on with the rioting earlier in the year, and a lot of this, there's some of the clients that I work with, and they've said, we're done. It's going to be many years before all that works its way out, and we're going to just exit stage left and and move to a really beautiful and peaceful place like Crested Butte, Colorado. So that's been driving a lot of the demand. I think the town and the county, in hindsight, have really done a pretty good job of managing the COVID situation with masks and the outdoor seating on Elk Avenue and the reconfiguration. So it's one way, and certainly some questions how that's going to translate into the winter timeframe when people aren't going to want to be outside. Vail has already announced some of their reservation system for the ski area, and so I think we're gonna have to see how that shakes out. But overall, very excited about the strength of the Crested Butte real estate market. If you haven't downloaded the full report, there's a lot of detail. If I can help you in any way to understand what's going on with regard to your home in Crested Butte and what the market would be, I could do a property valuation report. Or if you're a buyer and you're just looking at a specific, price range or geographic area or product type, single family home, townhome, condo, or land, happy to dig in and provide some additional homework and do some property valuation analysis for you as well, because we do have a lot of kind of micro pocket areas within Crested Butte. So anyway, I'm sort of rambling, but I just wanted to give you this update. Hope you are enjoying the remainder of our summer and really enjoy the September and into the October timeframe. Beautiful time to be here. Colors are changing. So if I can do anything to help you, let me know. Have an awesome day.